Every morning, just after sunrise, Mira walked the narrow dirt path that led from her cottage to the river. The world was quiet, then birds barely awake, mist hovering over the water, the air cool and untouched. This walk was the one peaceful moment she allowed herself before the chaos of the day. Yet every morning, something small disrupted that peace, a single stone, sitting stubbornly in the middle of the path. It wasn't large enough to be a real obstacle. It wasn't sharp enough to be dangerous. But it was always there, annoying, persistent, impossible not to notice. At first, Mira kicked it aside without thinking. The next day, there it was again. So she ignored it, stepping around it with a sigh. Days turned to weeks. The stone kept returning, perhaps rolled by wind, rain, or animals. Mira didn't know and didn't care. She had bigger worries, unfinished projects, a messy home, broken routines, and the deep frustration of feeling stuck in her own life. One morning, already weighed down by her own thoughts, she stopped in front of the stone and stared at it. It looked so insignificant. Yet, it bothered her more than it should. Mira whispered to herself, "Why do I keep avoiding this? Why do I step around the small things and then wonder why big things never change?" The question struck her harder than she expected. She crouched down, picked up the stone, and carried it to the edge of the path, placing it gently among the grass. It was such a tiny act, a seconds of effort. But for the first time in a long while, it felt like she had chosen something instead of avoiding it. The next morning, the stone was back. She smiled this time, picked it up, and moved it again. The next day, same thing. Again, she moved it. A small ritual. A tiny victory. Moment of control in a life that felt scattered. And then something interesting happened. She began noticing other stones in her life. The unmade bed she always rushed past, the pile of clothes on the chair, the dishes she left for later, the half-written letter she kept meaning to finish. She started doing these tasks not because she suddenly felt motivated, but because she realized something powerful. Discipline begins with the things you avoid. One small action encouraged another. One cleared space led to a clearer mind. One finished task made room for the next. Her cottage became tidier. Her mornings less rushed. Her thoughts less tangled. She didn't change her whole life overnight. She simply handled one small stone at a time. Weeks later, as she walked to the river and found the path clear, Mira didn't feel relief. She felt gratitude. The stone had been a teacher in disguise. The river hadn't changed. The world hadn't changed. But she had. All because she was willing to lift a small stone each day. And in doing so, she finally found the strength to lift her own life.